a brief prayer, and this will be a brief message for you all today. I'm going to pray with you what we call Martin Luther's sacristy prayer. Sacristy is a little area that's hidden behind the altar that we get ready for all the stuff on the altar. This is a prayer that I pray as I prepare every Sunday. We pray, Lord God, you have appointed us in the church as your people and leaders. And you see how unfit we are to attend such a great and difficult office. If it had not been for your help, we would long since ago have ruined everything. So therefore we call upon you. Of course, we want to put our mouths and hearts to use. And so we shall teach the people, and we ourselves shall learn and shall meditate diligently on your word. Use me as your instrument. Only do not forsake me. For if I am alone, I shall easily destroy everything. Amen. And so we are not alone. We have a message today from our sponsors.
Thank you, everybody. You have to show me this is how this works.
Left, go back, right, forward. So just get that one.
Right, why is it not working?
Here we go. We need power, battery.
Thank you. All right, thanks, everybody. This should take maybe 10 minutes here. I'll try to go through it pretty quick. This is our semi-annual voters meeting, like Pastor had mentioned. The easy part of today's meeting is there is no vote. We're just sharing information about what's been going on within the church over the last several months. So I'm going to go through 4 different parts. Financial update, ministry team updates, then we're going to dive in a little bit deeper into preschool. I have some stories I'd like to share with the group on that one, and then lastly, stewardship. So to start off with, financial updates. The simple version is right now we are slightly under budget. This $6,000 number represents about 2.75% of the targeted budget, so it really is slightly, those are within expected variances of the budget. A couple of specific big action items that we've had up and down over this last 8 months. We did, obviously, the parking lot, which was awesome. Chris Fecky, sitting over here, is the one who coordinates that. We spent some money on Enjoy, which is a stewardship program that I'll talk a little bit about in just a moment. We did not spend on a pastoral admin. We want more parish administrative support, so we still have an open position out there. If anybody's interested, anybody knows anybody, we're looking for 10 or more hours at a minimum every single week for admin support. So we haven't spent that, so that helped us come quite a bit under budget. Ministry teams have been operating very effectively, so they saved some money there as well. And this has resulted in us, even though we have come in under budget, we always target paying extra toward our mortgage anytime we possibly can. So far, we've already, the first half of the year, because this actually only goes through June, we've already been able to pay one extra payment towards our mortgage of $12,000, so that was great. And current mortgage balance just under $1.5 million. Before I jump into this, are there any questions on the financials? I do want to pause in between each of the slides to see if there's any questions anywhere. And I'll be available in the fellowship hall afterwards to answer anything if anybody wants to approach me individually. So I'll go round robin on the ministry teams next. They've been doing a great job. I'm really proud of all the actions that we've been doing. The worship, care, and fellowship, that is Tom Gitzoff, who's not here today. But that team, if you're ever interested in learning a little bit about like how the church works, they're the ones that do the Easter breakfasts. They're the ones that do the coffee hours. They're the ones that do the meal trains for people that need it. They're the ones that are coordinating the worship service itself, the ushers, the acolytes, the readers. All of those things get coordinated through there, and Tom Gitzoff is your guy. It's a really interesting and cool thing to learn if you ever want to be part of that. Youth next. You heard Pastor mentioned. I'm personally, because I've got 4 kids, very proud of the fact that one of the big things that the two, Jenny Malaysian and Jenny Lauko over there make sure that we do is that we are able to afford to send all of our kids as well as adult chaperones to the National Youth Gathering every 3 years. That's a huge deal. There's no cost to the families that are involved in that. So they went to that this year. They did the Bible Jeopardy at the beginning of this year, and this is the second year. We've got another one coming up, so that's one we're continuing to partake in. And then the youth auction, which was great. We have wildly successful every single year. I am always amazed at how we always find more stuff to be able to auction off. I don't actually know where it all comes from because our population of our membership doesn't grow that much, so you guys just keep on finding more stuff, which is awesome. Music. So music, I hope you guys all enjoy the music that we have here. That's Bonnie Sorrento. She's not in today, but we got traditional with Crossroad. We've got, contemporary with Crossroad. We have traditional with organ, Cheryl Nemeth and Carol Wagner were over here today. But all of those between the choirs, individual singers, Cairo bells, if we have actual concerts, Bonnie does all of that. So we do a pretty wide music program, and that's the thing that I would encourage you as somebody that may be interested in is if you have a passion for music, it doesn't mean you have to be a great singer. If you have some sort of passion for music or you just love music, that's a great thing to be part of. There's so many different opportunities. Property. Chris has done a great job. Hopefully you guys have obviously recognized that. We've got some major property things that we've been talking about over the last probably 3 to 5 years. The parking lot looks amazing. We have been talking about for a very long time putting security into the building. We never really had. Our security of this building was good old-fashioned locked doors, and we had keys dropping all over the place. We had like 200 different keys of members over the course of the last 15, 20 years. So it wasn't terribly secured, even though we could lock the doors. So we now have this fob system, which I know can be kind of a pain to get used to changes. But that system, it will become very easy to expand to all the other doors. It becomes very easy to turn them on, turn them off. And more importantly, for me at least, again, because I've got 4 kids, preschool is a big part of what we provide here. And that's a separate group of people. We've got definitely some preschool members, or preschool people that are members here, but not everybody. So they have protection for the kids as they come in. There's a lot of rules and laws that you have to adhere to, and this makes it a lot easier to do that. So I'm super happy that we finally were able to get that done. Stucco repair underneath the front entrance there because birds apparently are attacking our walls out there. So we recently got all that fixed. And then, as you guys all know, both the fellowship hall where we had some leaking last week, and even in the sanctuary we had some leaking last week. Chris is working on that, so he's always working on the roof. And lighting. These lights in this room, it is amazing how big, how expensive, how cool they are, but just changing one of these lights, you actually have to bring in giant piece of equipment just to get up to it. So these aren't like good old lights, even though they look the same as they might just be bigger versions of what's in your house. These are commercial lights. It's a big deal. And so that's something that Chris is working on as well this year. I'm not going to read everything from Mission and Outreach. Mission and Outreach is always, shouldn't say always, but has long been one of our most successful ministry teams. It's a lot of fun to be on that team. They do a ton of different things. What we saw here today is part of what they do. There's always monthly, more than one, it seems, monthly ministries or monthly activities going on with that group, which is really cool. Especially as we get into kind of the fall season, you really start to see the mission teams focus on food banks, giving presents to kids that don't have presents. We have a great angel tree thing that we do every single year. So these are a list of different things that are going on, and Matt Westmoreland sits in back over here, so he's your point of contact for that. And this I'm definitely not going to read, but we will send out this slide deck this next week, should you guys all want to go through the detail on here. But here's a more detailed breakdown of the specific donation programs that are being run through that team. So it's a really cool, fun thing to be part of. I definitely would encourage you if you're looking for, well, I guess my theme here for everybody is that if you're looking for ways to be a little bit more involved in your faith, there's a lot of fun ways to go do that. Whether you want to learn, you've got passion for something, or you just want to give back to your community. There's a ton of opportunities. All right, so next, preschool. This, I'm not going to read too much about it, although I specifically wanted to tell a couple of stories from the preschool. I, for one, definitely did not sign up my summer to all of a sudden have to backfill a bunch of preschool teachers and administrators, but that's what happened. What was really, really interesting on this is that when we started June 1st, knowing that we had to kind of revamp our entire preschool, we came up with a plan. And on a week-by-week plan, it was hard, it was aggressive, amazing things had to happen every single week. And I got about end of June, beginning July, and I kept thinking, I don't know how this is possible, but amazing things keep happening every single week. So I finally went from this position of always being worried about it and being nervous about it to just stop worrying about it. This is, for me at least, a direct representation of the hand of God touching this particular place. Within a week of losing our director, you got introduced to Emily here today. Not Emily, excuse me, Erin, which we now have 2 Erins. But she is amazing. A week after our director left, we had this young lady graduated from college in this specific industry field 4 years ago. She's been doing teaching public and private over the last 4 years. She's full of ideas. She can't wait to dive in. We got just that handed to us. We've had the opportunity to promote one of the teachers, a child care worker, into an child care into an aide. She's wanted to do it for a long time. She's just never had the opportunity. Now the opportunity came up, which then made it so that we had more child care needs. Well, interestingly enough, one of the kids, well, I shouldn't say kids, one of the young ladies that is our child care provider, she's in a program that requires her to get more hours every single semester. The way that particular program works is you can't just be going to school, you have to every single semester take on more professional hours. She needed it, she reached out, and we said, well, amazingly, yeah, we have more hours. That's amazing that you reached out to me. One final story, and this is again, I've just stopped worrying. We actually have another need for a little bit more childcare hours, but I just have complete trust and faith that it's gonna come through. Last week, I was in the building, last week Tuesday, and a young mother and her mom came in. Some of you are aware of the fact that Kettle Moraine School District is not doing so good. They announced they had to close McGee in Wales here just a couple of weeks ago. And as they're closing it next year, but as a result of that, it's kind of had a ripple effect on like placing kids and things like that. So long story short, this woman came in and she had been in tears all the previous night because she didn't get a spot for her child in the preschool program over there, and she didn't know what to do. So her mom said, okay, let's go to this place. I haven't been here in a long time, but I know it, so let me take you in there. She came in last week, Tuesday, and we were obviously welcoming her with open arms. Yes, we've got a spot, please. She was just so ecstatic that we had that. But the other thing, so Sarah, sitting back over here, has decided to step in and help us out with 3K teachers, because she used to do that in the past. She's graciously stepped in and said, I don't want to do it permanently, but I'll do it as long as you guys need it. She used to do it. She's great at it. This lady that came in on Tuesday of last week, her mom used to be a 3K teacher here 20 years ago. In the 4K room right now, she's the one who painted the walls of the Noah's Ark setting. And she said, you know what, I would be really interested in teaching here again if you happen to have anything. It was like, are you kidding me? This is amazing how this keeps happening. So we're talking to her next week. I'm meeting with her next week, Tuesday morning, just in a couple of days. But it's just gifts just keep coming through. So I wanted to share all those stories with you. I'm really excited and proud of what the preschool has done. They've made some changes here. We've always wanted to make better use of the lower level in this building. We never really have touched into that. I know when we started looking at preschools for my oldest here, every preschool we went into, they were always like, we got to take you down to the lower level because that's where our large motor skill room is. It's amazing. It was a huge selling point. But we don't really tap into that. So now we're looking to tap into that. All right, lastly, I'm going to put this down for a second. So the stewardship team asked me to read something specifically. So I'm going to just kind of read off what they asked me to. We are, for the next year, going to be emphasizing 10 different ways to care for our church better. That is what we call stewardship. And they are not all about money. It is about changing the eternal address of people you know and love and people you will never meet. The leadership here at Bethlehem has been meeting for around 2 years and has developed a 3-year strategic plan. This plan boils down to 4 initiatives. We also brought in Dr. Nathan Metter, our South Wisconsin District President, to discover our why. That is why Bethlehem exists. To help us implement the why through the 4 initiatives, we have contracted Enjoy Stewardship to advise us for a period of 1 year. This slide is a picture of a house on the coast of Florida after Hurricane Andrew. This photo was shared by Elder Ross Johnson, sitting with us here today, who is one of our elders, carpenters by trade. The man that owns and built this house was asked how he was able to escape the destruction of the storm. He replied that he built his house according to the Florida Building Code. If we build our house, our lives, according to code that Jesus has laid out for us in his word, the Bible, we will be able to withstand the storms of this life. The Lord has put each and every one of us right here and right now for a reason. To build this church right here. And we are not just talking about this building, it's the people who are influenced by you from this place. The first objective is to promote our online giving. We feel that this would increase the consistency of our giving so that the church can manage the budget better. You'll not have to deal with checks and envelopes every week, and we won't have to send the ushers around with the plates. This sounds like a win-win to me. This is one small way that we will be working through the 10 giving systems developed by Enjoy. This is going to be a movement that involves most areas of our church and church life. We are looking for you to come alongside us as team members, advisors, and supporters. Please let us know how you can help be the hands and feet of Christ here in Wales. And so I'll end with our final slide, stewardship. So the main purpose of this, I actually have 2 things I specifically want to call out to the group here. We actually have spent a lot of time on our website in the last 6-ish months. It's been updated. We've got all the ministry teams on there. We probably got to get better at actually updating the content on a regular basis. But the big thing that I want to stress to the group here is that we have a great calendaring system, and I don't see a lot of people using it. I use it pretty religiously. But it's got all of our events every single day, every single room. If you want to request time, if you want to change something, it works great. So you're ever wondering what's going on at Bethlehem, it's always up to date. So I encourage everybody to start using that. And then the last thing is, might be kind of hard to see here. Well, no, it's better for you guys. We did update the website specifically for the online giving. It used to just be a generic, you want to go online and make a donation, you could do that. We're now going to begin expanding it one by one. Each time we have a new mission and a new option for you guys to designate your online giving, you'll be able to start doing that. So this exists as of last week, Wednesday, and I encourage everybody to start using it. And that's it. Are there any questions? No? Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for staying along with me. I appreciate it.